Good evening, viewers. 20th of December 2024. Friday, the time is 7:31 p.m. Storm before the calm, and calm before the storm. Yeah, we make these sacrifices, and as Christians, other faiths as well, we expect results. I fasted once for 5 days. I collapsed at church. Waste of time that was, pretty much. But then again, the prayer got answered months later, so be patient. What's the purpose of the atonement? Is it, what is it? What's the word? I can't think of that word, nonsense, or it does more harm or hurts rather than helps. I was watching this video talking about all these pagan sacrifices over the centuries and so forth. It's history repeating itself. And why did the creator of the universe and us and all that sacrifice himself? Well, I can tell you one reason. So we can identify with someone who suffered more than us. Not just physically, because that's physical suffering unto death. He sweated great drops of blood. You could say he kind of repented of all the sins, past, present, future. And there was a time when I was younger, I was hanging by a rope. I met Jesus, and he said he even died for my suicide, or my sin of suicide. And he didn't look like the Hollywood version, I can tell you. Then the rope broke. There was a purpose in that. I was able to identify with someone who loved me so much, who knows what pain is physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So the atonement does make sense to me. All that animal sacrifice wouldn't make sense if Jesus Christ hadn't nailed himself to the cross, took the place of those poor animals. One of the things that stopped my father from ever accepting Christ was these animal sacrifices. But that's today. Back then in ancient times, it was a practice. The blood of the Lamb, Jesus Christ, crucified. 2 people online, thank you. Merry Christmas. So, those beautiful poor animals, and then say, Cain wouldn't sacrifice an animal, but yet he sacrificed Cain by killing him, who was meat, and Cain had given a vegan or vegetarian sacrifice. That's just the way it is. That's the Jewish laws and customs, and it was practiced as part of the Old Testament law. A lot of people who love animals, I do, just can't get their head around it to understand a God that would do that. Any animal that feels emotion probably has a soul. You'll probably see him again either during the 1,000 years, maybe, who knows, maybe in heaven too. So 20th of December 2024, back in 1984, I flew out to my Mormon mission to Vegas on this very day. And on the 20th December, prior to that, 1980, I just had completed a mini mission, which was a local mission, missionaries knocking on doors and things, getting water thrown in my face, shotgun, everything those days. And it actually finished on the 20th of December. It's a significant date. And today, a friend of mine's sister, who I kind of led into the church, but she was already an evangelist Christian, came into the Latter-day Saint Church, and she received her temple endowment today, which is the highest level ordinance on earth, Adamic covenant, as part of the restoration, where she bypasses the senatorial angels at the veil. It's a ritual that stand guard and witness all the signs of the priesthood, which she'll have to repeat as the temple worker will give those signs and tokens, and she will know what to do. Don't have to remember it. It's spiritual intelligence knows us anyway. As a priestess of the Most High God. And as she's gone through the whole process, it's her choice. She's asked a lot of questions and I've answered it. I gave her the warnings and the Pharisee aspect of it. There's a lot of people are buying heaven, even through rituals. And after that, she can be sealed up and be married to someone and return home to Father in the highest level of the celestial kingdom, where marriages are possible. But under grace, there is no marriages before and after resurrection. There they will drop you, the grace Christians or whatever, evangelists, and dump you. They will not take you beyond the veil because they do not believe in priesthood and they spit upon it. They do not believe in apostolic authority or that. They claim out of their own clergy and the blood of Jesus and the way they set up churches and that they have all that power and authority, and to kick people out, vote them out, hardly a prayer here and there, just get rid of them, change the pastor, whatever, right? Kick you out of Bible study like what happened to me, Baptist and Church of Christ. Apostolic authority is priesthood authority and Levitical. Right, not the counterfeit, not the Catholic priesthood. So that priesthood, she's accepted it by the authority, apostolic, and I'm yet to hear her experience. I've had supernatural experiences, so forth. I've had very good experiences. Somebody once was there, come running out of the temple. Instead of seeing 12 oxen, he saw 12 pigs with snouts. I never had that experience. I had very good experiences, and I experienced the living dead righteously, going through his robes, going through the 3 degrees of glory ritual, and another witness did see him, but no one else did. The veil worker was shocked. He was amazed that I had spent an hour and a half looking at him, never thought to help him as he put the robes on to go through the veil, hair like straw, no shampoo them days, 1850, his name was Arthur Farmer. He looked like something out of the 19th century. Never thought to shake his hand or anything because my hand would have went through him. He was a ghost. Believe it or not, people would say it was a demon. I had no fear. I was at peace. I was absolutely saturated with like anointing oil. It was just a beautiful experience. So what do you make of it? These people in the spirit world, spirit prism, whatever, are being gathered, getting missionary work done, presented to them, and opportunities, and a lot of people missed out or didn't have the chance to know Jesus and whatever. Not only did they accept the grace in Christ, they accept the sealing of the priesthood. But most people, especially Baptist Church of Christ and a lot of evangelists, are going to reject it. They will never be exalted. They'll never be with Father, but to them, Jesus is Father anyway, so that's good enough. And they'll be single and sexless for time and eternity, though there will be no lust in heaven. Not even for married couples. And the woman that was married to 5 husbands who died and said there was no marriage before and after resurrection, she'll get a second chance. All the people from the Dark Ages that were suppressed, they had the Catholic canon, but they never had the Bible, and they were under the rule and the thumb of murderous intent Catholic priests and so forth, get a second chance. Now, I'm not part of all this, but I'm experienced. I used to be a temple worker. I know what goes on. And people who are not grace Christian activated come from nothing, from nothingness, like not a Christian's bootlace. They go through the motions and so forth. When I had that experience, I did talked to the two people next to me, all dressed in white, everything in white, even the scriptures in white. The altar was white. When I said, did you see that gentleman behind me? He's having trouble with his robes and things, and they wouldn't even look around, or they had already looked around, and they freaked out like, wow, wait a minute, there's no one there. Because they looked as if they knew who came in and who went out, sort of thing. So there are a lot of people that do this sort of work and they have no belief system of anything supernatural. Why are they there? Why are they in that holy place and don't believe in all that? What are they going through the motions and all those rituals for if it's not supernatural? Of course it's friggin' supernatural. People online, Adam the goat, all praise be to Allah. The God who does not have a partner, the one God, the creator of our spirit, because a lot of these evangelist grace Christians believe Jesus is the creator of everything and all that, the Son of God, though he is a God. Latter-day Saints believe he's brother of Lucifer, a created being, but yet in the beginning is supposed to be in the Word, and the Word became flesh. But nevertheless, one God, first, second century Bible, Book of Sinai, so forth. God has no partner. There's no Trinity. There's no nothing. So yeah, I'll praise Allah, because the Latter-day Saints, Allah is Allaham anyway, which represents Father, Son, Holy Ghost, but not in the Trinity sense. Just, he can be in one, he can project his love and spirit everywhere, which you can see it like that. But the Son was supposed to be in the flesh, but Muslims don't believe that, but nevertheless. Interesting. But at least they have one God, not multiple gods. Adam the goat says, I respect you, sir. That's a compliment. That makes my day more happier. Thank you, Adam. Adam the goat says, I like and I subscribe your stream. Love you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Look forward to get to know you more. I lived in East Pakistan for 2 years as a teacher, and the Muslims very much respected me. The good Muslims, they really actually protected me from some serious situations over there, because I was married to a war correspondent. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. And I went to their weddings. I even sat in the mosque. I performed everything. All right. And man, the good Muslims united. They even help the poor during the Ramadan. They pray over the animal before they kill it. Not like here, we zap it. Electricity goes into the bloodstream, and man, all that stress and everything, There's a lot of good customs and culture with Muslims. And the original Muslims protected the Christians from those tyrant, Catholic, murderous, evil people, leaders, and all that sort of thing. It stirred up a lot of trouble. I think that's maybe Shah law kind of, a branch off from the original Muslims, because they had a gut full of the Catholics trying to take over the world with the Roman Baal Empire and all its Illuminati and its fake secret handshakes, all the part that was evil representing Lord Lucifer. General Catholics just don't know about all this stuff. They're just traditionally bound and just trying to live a decent life. I like Catholics, but I don't like the hierarchy and all that. And Muslims can see right through the bullshit. And all the eyewitnesses of Jesus Christ and the accounts, things that never happen, contradictions everywhere, all right? And they're very logical in a lot of ways. But anyway, we're all entitled to our own personal experiences, and I had a near-death angel experience. So anyway, nevertheless, I believe all people that have awareness and believe and have faith are in communication and in their, let's say, righteousness. In Christianity, it's supposed to be in Christ's righteousness. But then again, if you live by the law, you die by the law. It's the hard way, and you'll still be blessed. If you can do it. For how long, I don't know. And you need strength in numbers to do that. But there are people like Baptists and Church of Christ, evangelists will say you're going to burn in hell because because you got a wrong church and wrong Jesus or no Jesus. They have no rights to condemn and judge like that. They should just preach repentance. bring people to the cross, rather than send people 10 times more to hell. The Bible warns against that. They're very prideful. Right? They threw me out without any evidence, or I don't even know what I did wrong. They just didn't like Mormons. And Mormons and Muslims are very similar. I think Mormonism is even stricter. They both had polygamy, and or they do or don't, whatever. It's constitutional hereafter. The only difference, my brother Adam, is that Allah is not a polygamist, where the Mormon God is a polygamist. Now that's a bit far-fetched, but anyway, regardless. But yes, polygamy works, and it's culture, and didn't work for Solomon really. He stuffed up, but got greedy, turned to pagan false god worship. Nevertheless, said enough about that. Adam the goat, 100% true, bro. Thank you. Adam says, we do what we believe is right by God's creation, and that is to protect our fellow brothers and sisters regardless of their religion. I know. As I said, Muslims very protective towards the Christians from those Catholic tyrants, and of course the Pharisee Jews that killed Jesus. Though Muslims don't believe Jesus died, he was taken up, doesn't matter. They did believe in Jesus, respect him as a prophet and a great teacher and whatever. Thing is, they do respect other religions. So why the Catholic Church try to take over and send their missionaries into all these countries, even into cannibal jungle tribes, and convert them? Right? And why did they take all the black babies here in the desert and stole? It's called the stolen generation. Stole all the babies from the black mothers, and the mothers never got to see their children again, and then convert them to Catholicism? That's disgusting. Right? Okay, I can understand Muslims are Muslims, and they don't like you to convert to any other religion, or especially Shah law or anything like that, especially not Catholic. That sort of thing. But they're already Muslim. Now, these Aboriginal people were nothing. They were like shaman. I mean, they loved nature. They loved the spirit, animal spirit, whatever. They believe God is earth spirit, whatever it is, right? And they were forced to be Catholic. They were never made for that. I mean, the earth people, and they're not going to be fooled by Catholic popes and all that hierarchy stuff of the British rule. My goodness. And even the British rule even got into India among the Catholics there. I mean, Anglo-Saxon and all that, and then so brutally moralistic to such a degree that they would even judge their own mother for being immoral or bad marriage or something, but not throw her out like we Westerners can do, put them in nursing homes. But the Asian culture, as I said, they don't throw their mother out. I mean, some may, but most of them don't, even if she's a witch doctor or a criminal. They've got this culture. It doesn't matter for good, bad, or ugly, or evil. I mean, they just don't throw their mother out or grandmother. I respect that type of culture. I think Muslims take care of each other too. I mean, of course, the grandmother, the old lady, and the matriarch. I don't know if there's such thing as a matriarch, Adam, but I know there's patriarch. But, a matriarch. And as I said in one of my videos, if the matriarch accepts polygamy, my goodness, for me, that would be the queen of queens. I don't care what age she is. She'd be the oldest. Because I know Jacob favored a younger one because he gave him children and so forth. But of course, the matriarch, or the first wife, gave him children too. She got old. I personally would absolutely adore the first wife if she allowed that. And men are men, and they work hard, stress, battles, all sorts of things. And in a Muslim culture, if I'm not wrong, a Muslim woman can divorce a Muslim man if he doesn't satisfy her. Now, if the man's on the mood, he's got to get in the mood. So you can't say it's completely without lust at times, but they are pure. They respect the cycle month, and these things are very important to Muslims, right? In the Western world, we are so disgusting in ways. We just mess, we break the rules. They wonder why they're laughing at us, because of the immorality. And the Statue of Liberty in America represents some type of pornography god, some sort of sex goddess. It can have other meanings. I think it came from France. So everything in America led to pornography and immorality. Now, they are a power nation. There's good and bad and ugly there. There are some very good, decent people there. But And, you know, and there's pussy snatchers and what do you call them, racist and all that, like Donald Trump. But I'm against abortion, right? So I would vote for him. But then Biden was this sleepy tycoon and his secretary, and she didn't even swear on the Bible. She put a bag there. She didn't want to touch the Bible because she's like a little mini antichrist, but you know what I mean? Just going to do things completely against the Bible. Now, anyway, besides the point, what does your conscience tell you, you know? I don't know how some of these people sleep at night, you know. Oh, Adam the Goat says, I'm from Melbourne, Victoria. Nice to meet you, Daryl. That's great. Melbourne gave me my start in music. I used to teach at Preston College. It's only a small college to help the kids or students get into talent time and TV programs, musical and all that TV shows. And I work for excuse me for my grammar. I've got some damage from accident. I worked for Gordon Gunn from the Don Lane Show. You probably never heard of that. He was very famous, American guy who lived in Australia, a TV show all over. And I wrote, composed and everything there. And the head lecturer, teacher there stole my music and put it on an album. Didn't even put my name on it. Yeah. So I left in the end. But they gave me my start. And then I taught overseas a lot, in third world countries, and all those places. And I got a lot of respect. And I come over here back to Western Australia, and of course I wasn't Catholic, I wasn't Presbyterian, I wasn't Methodist, and they wouldn't take me because they wanted to ask all these stupid questions. Do you believe in this and do you believe in that? This is what we believe, and I don't. When I first joined up to become some type of priest before I was baptized, Latter-day Saint, because I was investigating, they asked me things like, do you believe this and believe that? And I said no, and I got rejected. My father was pissed off, even though he doesn't like religion. He says, but that's paid ministry, which really, in some ways, is an abomination, really. Go and get a real job. And I got rejected. I would have been a fully fledged priest. I don't know which one it was. It might have been, I think it was Protestant or something like that. So every twist and turn, I was out the door. But I ended up almost famous musician traveling the world, and I never slept around during that entire career, though I flirted and I had a lot of romance, but just wasn't into it. I was very virtuous, and that was a blessing to me because I was performing and I was able to kind of, you could say, make love to the piano, the keys. I was really into that. Richard Clayderman, that type of beautiful romantic. I got French in me and all that sort of thing. So I did all that. And I've never really slept with anyone without proposing to get married. And then the only reason it happened because the church tried to stop us, you know, people interfering, oh no, you're not right, this and that, or too old or something, half my age. I know, it doesn't make you a predator. It just happened. I didn't go looking for it. It just happened, man. Because I'm a musician, you know. I was in demand those days. But I'm retired now. So I don't have a bad record there, really. There's just people that's jealous. They're just jealous. Of course, my first marriage broke up because rumors ran around the church I was committing adultery. Yeah, I did kiss a girl, but I was separated. Long story how that happened. Baby died and everything. And they were absolutely convinced that I was sleeping around. I wasn't. And my wife, who was married in the temple, which took 10 years to divorce, mind you, very strict, came under a curse because you don't temple divorce. You may be able to civil marriage divorce, but not temple divorce. That's the highest level of sacred marriage from the Adamic covenant. Next thing, she's lost both kidneys, packed up on dialysis for the rest of her life. I don't know. That may have going to happen anyway. And I don't know if she regrets it, but I don't. She held a grudge, and she's never been back to the temple and got sealed to her new husband. That may happen in the future. I don't know why she hates me so much or whatever. Took my son away from me and everything. But when you fall from priesthood and you don't have the grace, and you don't know Jesus, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Too much gossip, too much that type of religious gossip. It doesn't help a marriage at all. So it's better to know somebody as a human being, a best friend, that you love no matter religious or not. But preferably, of course, who believes in God. Okay, Adam's back again. Excuse me. Adam the goat says, that's okay, brother, to flirt and make love. We are all young, and some stage we all grow as we age and become better humans, getting closer with God. Amen. It's hot here. We're in summer now, and that's why I always wear these singlets. Yep. I wouldn't want to be a square, what do you call it, a nerd in a way, sexless type of cold, waxing cold and all this sort of thing. There are people like that, even in the church. There's saintly people, sexless and everything. It's all holy as batshit and all this. A big friggin' deal. I wouldn't want to be married to someone like that. And we need to love the woman on all levels, but don't remain there. Always try to go back to the light, to the holy level. But big deal if you come off the holy level and you're just normal, you know. And I don't think it's any problem sharing emotional love with respected, virtuous, or you can call it religious or spiritual people out there, men or women, but women show more emotion. But yeah, when it comes to sexual partners, only one. And if it's polygamy, then you got more than one. But that's by law. If it's polygamy, it's justified. Okay, that's up to your culture and your religion to believe it or not. That's not adultery if it's legal and practiced under that sort of law. I don't care what people think. They can get jealous, whatever. A woman wants to be totally possessed and you can't even look over your shoulder. My dad worked for a big car sales company. He was a mechanic and service mechanic for a big Japanese company. For years, this, you could say, 5-star secretary, very kind of famous, selling these cars and model, you know, and she used to make beautiful meals for him and all the mechanics there. Where Mum was very from the bush, the desert, and just make sandwiches and things. I mean, God bless my mother, you know, she's from the bush, that type of, she's from, you know, that sort of type of life. And my dad was happy, she was flirting with him, but he didn't really flirt back, but he loved the attention, man. And when Mum found out, because they had a big concert day in the car yard with Bette Midler, apparently come out and sung and everything, $1 million or something, I don't know how much it cost. And Mum ended up discovering that the secretary was eyeing my dad off. Made my dad's life hell after that, and he got sick and he ended up retired. Healthy ego. Now, there are religions out there, you're not allowed to have anything. You're not allowed to do this, not allowed to do that. Oh my goodness. Look, mate, I tell you this now, all you people out there, don't worry about it unless you actually cross the line and have sex with someone that's not your wife, then for goodness sake, just get over it. I mean, don't make it a habit. I mean, it just happens. You know, you could be stuck somewhere and trapped or something for a long time, whatever. Guys a bit differently, and they love emotional connection, if you know, and it softens their heart and all this. But just don't sleep with them. Just be faithful in that way. But women get upset over everything and want to have murderous intent. And women can cheat too. And if you give the woman the rights to emotionally cheat, they will leave their husband maybe and go with someone richer, more spiritual, more emotional. You tell a man that he can have emotional love without being cheating sexually, he's not going to leave his wife. He'll come home to his wife. But women, they got to have this emotional connection thing. And if they don't get it, man, they got to have it, see? And not all men can show emotion. So give them an inch, they can take a mile. I'm not trying to be sexist here, but women can do that. But let them flirt and do what they want and see what happens. Let a man flirt, he's not likely to leave his wife. Can always come home to his wife. All right, that's just a bit of psychology there, even for people who are not religious. Make sense of it as you wish. Adam the goat said, I had a girlfriend stay with me from Malaysia. Nothing much happens in Malaysia. There's t-shirts and I was there, man. I don't like Malaysia. Communists got attacked there. Long story. So I know about them midnight 5-star meals. Adam the goat says, any time of the night they will make you 3-course meal. Wow. Yeah, when I came under the attack by the communist Chinese rule, I paid for the flight, the hotel, everything with credit card them days. I even took my wife at the time, the war correspondent. We'd just been through hell and war and terror. What a place to pick. We went to Malaysia, right where the communists were. We went from the frying pan to the fire. When we got there, they had guns and everything and attacked her. She went to the money exchange and said, "Your husband needs to get out of Malaysia." And they gave us just a few days to get out. Fortunately, it was towards the end when they caught up with us. And the hotel that we stayed at, man, there were just Chinese everywhere, and things got stolen, and oh man, it was like 100 of them, all gas baggers, like they knew we were there. And then when we went to moved out because we didn't know what the friggin' hell was going on, we went to this small little hotel, and it was cheaper. They were there. They were right next door to us. It was just batshit crazy what we went through. And when the plane took off, there was bloody all these Chinese people on the friggin' plane. And I dropped my suitcase on one of their head. Oh my goodness. And then I sat next to this guy with no arms. Like he had, like, I don't know. It was just weird. Everything was just, the Satan just got in everywhere. I just wanted to give my wife a vacation, and it turned into hell and terror. Then Anyway, calm before the storm, or storm before the calm, right? Now, just in the last few weeks, had all my money scammed, my travel money, years of it, and fights and things. One guy got arrested, and it was just, all I did was want to be more righteous, see? But I was sort of drifting away from the grace. I was trying to do it myself. See, it doesn't work. It's Pharisee. Now, Muslims got a different culture and custom. They're strength in numbers. They help one another. They do a lot of charity and kind acts and things. I mingled among the Muslims. I didn't go to Christian church over there, give or take once or twice somewhere. 20 million Muslims, and I seemed to be. I don't know. I felt united. I felt an earth and a peace, and I went out to activities and did all sorts of things and had friends, and I don't know, I didn't seem to have lost the plot over it. But when I tried to go back to my former church and they told me I couldn't even drink decaf coffee, I lost the plot. I thought, the Muslims are not going to tell you can't drink a tea and coffee or even have a smoke. They don't like alcohol. I agree with that. I could stand on the street corners or anything and have a smoke with the Muslims. There was hardly any traffic lights over there too, and it was like 20 million people, and it was hard to get across the road, and plus pickpockets everywhere too. Or lots, I had to sort of you got to live by your wits there, Soldiers everywhere, machine guns and so forth, but it was a tough mission, and it was a lot more of a mission and tough than bloody any Las Vegas bloody Mormon mission. That was bloody sippy cup baby Christian type of or religious mission that was. But I got my mission when I was in East Pakistan. Okay. Oh, Adam says, I'm sorry to hear that happened to you, man. That's scary. Well, you're in Melbourne, so I'm not sure if you've ever been back to your home country or wherever. But yeah, I was there for 2 years and they wouldn't let me out of the country. Because once you've been there for 3 months, you renew your visa. I tried to get out, man, and I was trying to get a visa to stay there, residency and everything, because my wife is from there. Man, how did I get out? There was no computers and things. It was a big office full of papers. I'd sit there and smoke a packet of cigarettes. It was like cheap, 50 cents. And this big bloody Muslim dude and everything, he was a nice guy, but he was all bookwork and stuff. And I was sitting there in this heat, a little bit of a fan blowing, and hours on end, and then it would be closing time. I'd come back, took me 3 days. Eventually, he said, "Oh, you can go out of the country, but I can't give you any residency. You have to come back and start again." I went home and everything because I'd been there for a year, and I went back and all that war and terror thing had just finished. The charges were dropped. Finally, I was able to live there in peace. I had a lot of Muslims friends because they even captured the terrorist guy and everything, and He was known for a lot of crime and stuff with foreigners and so forth, and I actually signed documents to get him out of prison. And more, boy, did the captain of the army, he was pissed off because they wanted him locked up. He was being bashed up half to death. Gave me $1,000 in bribe. They were going to give me 50,000, and my wife was pissed off because I didn't take the 50 grand. I didn't want trouble, man. I didn't care about money. I was quite comfortable. And you know what? After that, I was protected. They give me the salute and everything. They'd even drive around those cars like mafia cars you couldn't see through the window. Everywhere I went from then on, they knew me. The rumours went around. This foreigner's got a heart. And I got this terrorist guy out of prison. He hadn't killed anyone. He was just doing a lot of ripping off foreigners and stealing passports and what else? All sorts of things. Yeah. So after that, I was just fine. But how I went through before that, you know, it all started with a coffee with a Muslim woman, and kids saw it. Spread rumors that teacher was having an affair with Muslim teacher. I wasn't, and she had a black eye and everything. And next thing, I was sharing poetry, and I got an email address, and I was just sharing poetry, man. I mean, my wife was the principal of the school, and she lost the job over it eventually, because angry at me because of it. But they come around, the husband, the 30 of them, uncles, aunties, everything, with bloody weapons and things to bash me for adultery. And of course, the captain was there that night because he was like a son to my wife, a young captain of the army, and he hunted him down the stairs with a machine gun. I think it was a machine gun or a rifle, I can't remember. But anyway, I was lucky that night. See, God will protect you. You're one of his, you know. But then again, it wasn't really adultery. It was just sharing poetry. But anyway, I learnt my lesson. No problem after that, you know. But over here, you know, what can I say? Yeah, it's just everybody's a friggin' predator. Just to look upon a woman, sort of things like, you know, what are you looking for, man? What are you looking here? I don't know. I'm like, what's wrong with complimenting a woman or a guy's aftershave? I've even got up to a guy and said, gee, man, that's a really nice aftershave. I wouldn't mind impressing my wife with that. You know, they don't get upset, do they? Why does a woman get upset? Oh, what perfume you're wearing? It's really nice. I love your dress. And oh, you're a predator. Yeah. But in the Muslim world, they're covered. So there's none of this temptation thing, you know, they're covered. And that solves all problems. We're only human, for goodness sake. Adam the Goat says they are very decent. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, yeah, they are. And you know, I spoke to a lot of people, and a lot of them were happy. You know, these men were decent, and even the Muslim men were decent too. I mean, they were like, what do they call them? Sheiks. They owned property, and they were business people, and they would invite me over. I was always being invited over. Some of them were filthy rich, the Arabs and so forth. And man, I sat with them and everything. I was treated like royalty. Now over here, if you're middle class or poor class or something, or you can say, you don't get invited to somebody that's, say, a government official high up. Even my own blood cousin, who was the opposition premier of the state of Western Australia, 3 times the size of Texas. When he became premier, that was the end of it. I grew up with this dude. He had nothing to do with me once he became the superficial government of Australia, one step away from Prime Minister. But a Muslim, man, a Muslim. I knew a Muslim who set up his deaf and dumb son with property and everything, wealth, and matched him, arranged marriage to a beautiful princess Muslim woman. That would not happen here. If you're deaf and dumb, or they think you're stupid, a woman wouldn't even look upon you. Right? Next thing, deaf and dumb person, he might be into pornography or something. He's got no way of having any experience in this life. It's terrible sometimes in the Western world with disability. So no, the Muslims look after their family, and they give inheritance and everything. It doesn't matter if disability or not. If, you know, that's going to the son and whatever. Yeah. My brother was the white sheep and I was the black sheep of the family. But one day my brother, who became a gambler, it's in the blood or something, he lost a lot of money and my dad wouldn't give it back to him. And so there was a big fight, you know. He thought my dad could just pay his debt up, but he didn't. Yeah. So anyway, my dad was a good man in that sense. Didn't gamble. What else? Didn't have a credit card. Didn't even have a mobile phone. No such thing in them days. He never cheated the tax man. Though he was an atheist and everything, but he hated people spending money unwisely and everything. You know, it's like thrifty is batshit, but he owned his house and everything, and he associated with maybe at least one billionaire. And that one billionaire, who was an atheist too, went and gave $100 million charity to a so-called Christian organization for some starving kids or something. He got scammed. It turned out a fake, and he killed himself. And he did not even leave 900 million to his kids. He could not handle the pride of being scammed. Look, that's stupid really to kill yourself over that. But he was atheist and he thought he'd give to charity and see if that would give him some insight, such a thing as a guide or something, you know. He got scammed the first time he donated $100 million. Why did God allow that? He could have converted him, or to become a Christian, or anything. Man, that sort of money. When I was over in East Pakistan, I mean, the kids wanted money, right? I'd give it to them to buy chocolate chips or something. Man, they didn't. They go buy bags of rice and everything, go back to mum and papa and feed them. You give kids money here, mate, the first thing they want to do is straight to the liquor store or get smokes. And if they're not old enough, then they try and get somebody to go in there and get it for them. That's all they can think about here in this friggin' country is friggin' drugs, man. They need the cat of nine tails. That's in Singapore. If you thieve, they don't care what age you are. They will whip you. So the government is very lenient here. Right? And as I mentioned, this a black guy went and raped a 3-month-old baby. He got 6 months jail because he was pretty much mad in the head. But a white man get life. In America, the black man would get life and the white man would get a lesser sentence. So that's a serious crime. And in America, when those cops were kicking that beggar in the street, get off, you lazy bastard, get off this footpath. And he put his hand in his pocket to pull out a sandwich, and they shot him dead right there, thinking he was pulling out a gun. A beggar in the street who was absolutely sickly and messed up and not eating, oh, come on. I think it was an excuse just to kill him. And that cop did lose his license, went to jail and everything. Justice was paid there, but the poor guy, the poor beggar on the street. See, martial law, it's coming in all over the world. Bloody robots. Next thing will be bloody artificial intelligence. You're under arrest. And they send a bloody beam to you and all that and zap you. What do you call it? Yeah, you won't be able to escape the robot. Adam the goat. Well, that is very sad. That's that a generous man got scammed. Yeah. Anyway, they're all dead now. These people are dead. And of course, what's her name? Is that Rhina Jeanhart or Gina Reinhardt? I can't get it right. The richest woman in the world, right here in Australia. And she's absolutely overweight and everything. And she's leaving nothing for her kids. She's atheist, doesn't believe in God, spoiled as batshit. But she donated how much? 100 million to the Sporting Association or the women's basketball, while there's hospitals needing equipment and everything. What's wrong with you people? Sport is your God. Bail. I would give it to hospitals, especially in third world countries, man. Equipment, everything. Don't they realize they're going to get old one day? Hospitals. I had a mate who used to raise money to build schools for underprivileged women in Nepal and water wells for pure water. And he did it out of his own money for 20 years. Then he ran out of money, and he's pissed because he's come back here. He hates being here because it's structured society and rules and regulations. Now he's a painter, and he's gone back to a normal job, and no one respects him. No one gives a shit. He's old, actually, same age as me. All the photographs and the people loved him. The kids called him uncle and everything. You know, Adam would know that in those countries. They call you uncle. You're not even blood related, right? But here, especially among the white people, they're not going to call you uncle. You're not my uncle. Piss off. Or maybe the culture that's come out and immigrated, and they've still got the culture in their heart and their blood, that they may call you uncle. Yeah. Man, it's sad. It's sad. The Western world has been greedy for so long. World War III is coming. Antichrist is coming. Cashless society is coming. Money's going to be frozen in the banks, everything. They're going to lose it, man. I just lost all mine recently. It'll take me a year to get back what was lost. But anyway, living on friggin' sardines. I can't even help anyone. But anyway, besides the point, there are too many people eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. The Titanic's going down. You can't get away with that. Do I go out? Hardly ever. I'm always home. I'll have a smoke and a coffee. That's my thing. I don't drink. Hardly ever, if not at all. I keep out of trouble. I'm doing everything legal. I mean, yesterday I had all my photos and videos stolen. I got caught in a scam of uploading or installing something to see it, and it was all bullshit because the other one was a backup, had it all on there, and they stole everything. And some of those photos or videos were me running around naked, like jungle stuff. You know, it's none of anyone's friggin' business, but there were times when I went wild. You know, I paint myself black and everything and run around the naked and mix in with the witch doctor and the tribes. I mean, I'm just very tribal. Of course, some people think I'm some predator, some bloody psychopath or something. Get stuffed. Get stuffed. You bloody, what do you call it? A legalistic, Western, judgmental, police-minded society. Running around friggin' naked in a jungle and with others doing the same friggin' thing, swimming under waterfalls and everything and mixing in with the tribes, not having sex or anything. It's a spiritual ritual. It's spiritual alchemy. I'm still Christ-centered. No one's looking. No one's lusting. It's not like the Western world. Okay, of course, the Muslims wouldn't want to do that because the women are covered. But these are tribal. These are really black people that have no religion. And you know what? I get to preach around the bonfire. Yeah. I actually get to preach, and there's interpreters, people like that. And some of them, they're in tears. Who is this God, you know? Tell me more about Jesus, or tell me more about Allah, you can say. Tell me more. They know nothing. Some of them Buddhists, yeah, there are Buddhists, and there's, you know. So, you know, people watch that and they say, this guy will paint it all black and everything. Was he a bloody witch doctor or something? What's he doing? Is he practicing magic? Black magic or something? I have a mental problem because of my accident, a brain damage and sickness and things. I don't take any drug. The only drug I put in my body is a coffee and a smoke sometimes. That helps me mentally. That's it. Gets me out of religion too. Heavy sort of doctrine thing. But anyway, I get into magic medicine. Okay, witch doctor medicine sort of thing. Because those witches were burned at the stake for practicing medicine. They called them white witches. The Catholics bloody burned them at the stake. They weren't even worshipping Lucifer. They still got bloody burnt at the stake. So I go over there for how long? A month, whatever, and I mingle in with these people and I get healed. My mate, my mate Jamie, the Buddhist guy that helped all those people and built schools and water wells, he fell off a mountain. He was an atheist before that, and the medicine man and all the people in the village took him there, back there, and healed him in 3 weeks with medical plants and herbs. He was so impressed that he was healed, broken bones, everything, suffering and fevers and things. He became a Buddhist. They were Buddhists, that's right. And then he spent his life as a humanitarian in Nepal, right? And I know Jamie doesn't lie, and Jamie is a very straight-laced person in that sense. And when he was up in the Himalaya mountains, he saw a 50-foot Yeti You know what a 50-foot Yeti is? A Bigfoot. Big hairy ape. 50 foot. And it was dead. It was frozen in the snow and nobody could get it or move it. And he showed me the pictures. I saw it. So there's all these creatures and things out there, man. And I don't know. They don't seem to interact with us very much. And these aliens, they never friggin' land, half of them. And they're all demons. They got laws, you know. They can't just blow up, destroy the world. In fact, they may not want to. And they may trying to stop us from blowing up the world. I mean, they're Satan's babies. You know, Satan created all that. And they will try to deceive us by saying we are them and they are us and all this, but no. It's a different seed. Yeah, the fallen angels and the Nephilim and all that stuff that went on. All right, so just beware. Satan can preach 99 truths to get across one lie. I understand that. And I'm only sharing with you and speculating and things, but I have a lot of supernatural experiences. Even when I was with the Muslims, they have genies. You know what I mean? They have all sorts of things. There's all sorts of magic going on there too. Solomon had a Solomon's ring. That's not quite in the Bible. I think the ring is in the Bible, but stuff went on with Solomon, summoning up demons and everything, and building those temples and stuff. But it's in lost books and things. But no, you can't tell Baptist that or Church of Christ, whatever. They won't listen to that. All this magi going on. The 3 wise men were known as magi. Look, Jesus said we would do more than him. I think it might be grace and priesthood that will bring that about through faith, precede the miracle. But people with strong faith, but they also have a strong love, right? And I believe that people that throw out mental patients are coming off the street needing help and prayer over them, and they keep on with the sermon and kick them out, or a person got out of jail, criminal, is repenting. There's going to be no miracle in those churches. They're dead churches, and they get paid ministry, and as long as they're getting their paycheck. There are charitable, kind-hearted Muslims, Hindus, you can say, or Christians, whatever, Protestants, even Catholics. And the time is coming where there's going to be things activated within us like never before. And we're going to need it to fight the battle that's coming. And there'll be so much supernatural thing happening anyway. And, 7-foot bloody scorpion demons and everything, torturing people and everything. I mean, we're going to be up against so much. We won't be able to deny. And we'll give our heads unless we want to join the beast and sign off, like take the mark of the beast. Or we give our lives. So it won't be easy to be a Christian. It won't be easy to be anything them days. Of course, I don't know what the Muslims think. Maybe genies are going to come flying all over the place and attacking. I don't know. But there's going to be all these type of supernatural things happening during the time of the Antichrist, at least the second half of the tribulation. At first, it'll be all peaceful and everybody will think he's religious and peace and all that. And he'll turn like a cut snake, raise his ugly head and kill the Christians. He'll be killed. They'll hate him, and he'll be resurrected by Satan himself. Yeah. And in the end, there'll be these communists and all of those countries joined up to the Antichrist rule. The one world government will be shooting missiles up to kill Jesus and his angels, and they will not succeed because you can't kill Jesus and his angels, and that'll be the end. So the communists will get their power after how Americans treat them and all these other countries capitalizing on power and wealth. Of course, now Chinese has got all that wealth thing now, and Japan is fantastic with the car industry and so forth. But whatever, it's all, the tables have turned, right? It wasn't the Muslims that killed my father. It wasn't the Russians, right? It wasn't the Nazis. It was the friggin' Chinese communist or interacting with North Korean, all right? So, all the threats I might have got and what I went through, faced war and terror. No. Some of these Chinese communists will kill their own mother. I mean, I'm not talking about the legal communists that come out here. I've got a mate, he's married to one, loves her, would never go back to a white woman who kicked him out because he wasn't rich enough. He had a shitty old house, but he owned it, and this beautiful communist woman loves him. I'm talking about the illegal ones, because I tried to convert some of the illegal ones to Christianity. That just That just ruined my life in some way. That's really dangerous. I didn't know any better. I didn't know it, but she was an escapee, right? And I should have, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. You know, you got your people. They take care of you. Come out illegally, got deported in the end. So anyway, I've been through a lot, but yeah. So I can say Muslims are my friends. I can say the neo-Nazis are, the new generation, I don't know, but the old generation, they warned us about the Chinese. The bad ones, that is. So they were trying to give a warning, and I didn't heed to that. And they did threaten everything. Oh, they made my life hell. But the thing is, they were right. And Paula Hanson, she should be the Prime Minister. You know, I'm being political now. I reckon she'd make a great Prime Minister. And I am Republican, and I agree now with the Nazis in that sense, only because, when I say Nazi, I mean, I'm not talking Hitler's Nazi, I'm talking, it's a political thing. They're very right-wing, but they are sick and tired of cultures. I mean, I'm talking communist, not religious, communist culture coming here and tearing up our life, and then threatening the people and sitting on their computers like goody-goodies, like nothing happening. And because when I went to the home of this sister communist, they were sitting there like in a classroom, in a room, like a lounge room, about 50 of them. I said, "This is where you live? What's these 50 clowns sitting here on computers and just acting like nothing happening? They're all bloody hackers, mate. Cyber terrorists." Later got proof of that. Long story. So anyway, this is Australia. It's the last frontier. We pray for our government here. I don't care if it's bloody communist, even Australian communist. I mean, whatever. Leaning towards that, I mean. There's two different parties here, but they both take care of the old people when they get old and retire, all right? In that sense. So this Australian government is a credit. Nowhere in the world does the government help its people so much. So they do more than the churches. And a lot of people don't like this Prime Minister, but, you know, I don't know, they seem to raise the taxes and all that. But you know what they do? They steal from the rich and give to the poor. And then again, you wouldn't have your pensions and that if it wasn't for the rich. So you can't knock the rich because they're actually paying for the pensions. You see, so you can't hate anyone. Politics. Steal from the rich, give to the poor. In Muslim Quran, I think they say something like they can steal from the rich food and that and give it to the poor or something. You know, I mean, good on them. Is that a sin? I don't think so. People should be fed, whatever. If you're hungry, you're gonna eat. You're gonna want to steal to have food, you know, but not rip people off, you know, generally business and all that sort of thing, you know. Or what happened to me, scammed all my money by cyber terrorists. Okay, I'm going to finish now. I'm getting hungry. Snack time, smoke time. Oh, 58 minutes? Oh, my goodness. Adam the Goat says, "No one is perfect, mate. I don't judge you, bro. You seem like a good man with a good intention." I'm almost feeling the spirit with you, Adam. I know you're a Muslim, but I'm feeling a kind of a spirit of love coming from you, brother. Thank you. Adam the Goat says, "I also have a brain injury from a motorcycle accident." Wow. I might just stay on a little bit and have my smoked coffee, just for a couple of minutes or 10 minutes, all right? Because Adam is he's got a few things to say maybe before we finish up. Okay, let the man speak. That's great. That's really beautiful. Other times I come on and I stir up the hornet's nest, you know. People come online, they freak out. They don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are trapped in this soul condition, sort of, I don't want to judge, but this low intelligence where they think everybody's evil. And somebody said on my last video, "Oh, you look evil. Oh, you look, you know, you look like an evil predator or something." And I thought, probably a man-hater. It was a woman. Mate, I've been raped too, you know. When I was 17, I got raped by a guy. Do I hate guys? No.
But I'm not gay, but I was raped. But a woman can be a man hater job, you know. But anyway, it took a while to overcome it. I became a womanizer to get over it. People say, oh, he's a womanizer. Oh, shit. No, I did. I love women because, like sisters, and I did. I associated with more women than men at the time. Now I prefer the men. Be honest with you, now I prefer guys now. I just want male friends. Good male friends like I had when I was in East Pakistan. Real good Muslim, decent male friends. Okay, I've got someone calling me, so I will have to go. Adam, love you, man. And all the people left a comment. It's Merry Christmas to me. Somebody is wishing me. That's nice. Thank you. God bless, and I'll catch you next time. I can't click out of here when someone calls me. Isn't that a bugger? It's a stupid setup, this is. See you, bye. I'm out of here. Bye.